Greetings, peace be with you. So in this video, you are going to discover why monk mode is the strongest way to raise your vibration. Okay, now if you have been following this channel for a while, you know I've created so many videos on this topic of raising your vibration, but this video will be like the big picture. It will be like the framework under which all these other videos fall under, okay? Because there's really three things that hold your vibration down. And once you can begin to overcome these three things is when you begin to raise your vibration in the strongest way possible, meaning that you raise it permanently, you raise it consistently, you raise it to a level that allows you to stay there rather than forcing it to get there and then only to run out of energy and then falling back. Okay, once you understand how to overcome these three things that I'm about to reveal in this video, then you will understand exactly where the leak is and how to plug it moving forward. Okay, and make sure to stick to the very end of this video, because the third thing is perhaps the most insidious. It really trips so many of us up. It continues to trip me up, and having an awareness of this is going to be the key that unlocks your ability to become the man that you know you're capable of being. So with that being said, if you have been following this series on the channel, you know that the Monk Mode Challenge is now live. So you can open up a new tab in your browser window, go to monkmodechallenge.com, get into the program. I'd love to see you in there and join us on this 30-day journey of self-illumination to create true transformation in our life through daily missions, through accountability in the community, and coming together and creating a mastermind so that we lift each other up, support each other, and hold each other accountable. Okay, I'll leave a link out in the description as well. I'll leave a link out in the comments as well. Or you can just open up a new tab in your browser and go to monkmodechallenge.com. Okay, now what are these three things that hold our vibration down? Well, the first thing is extremely important, and that is our environment. Okay, either you are a product of your environment or the environment is a product of you. And when you make your environment is when you choose who you are becoming as well. Okay, when you consciously create your environment to reflect the future that you intend to create, that is when you become the conscious creator of your reality. Okay, your environment is affecting you way more than you think. In Napoleon Hill's works, in all of his works that I read, he says that your environment is the one factor that influences your habits, it influences your thought patterns, it influences who you are. Another mentor of mine says that your environment is your destiny. And the most prominent factor in your environment is the people that you spend your time with. Okay, really ask yourself the question. This is something I've emphasized again and again and again. Ask yourself the question, do the people around me remind me of my past, or do they remind me of my future? Okay, really ask this question, because we crave the familiar, right? We're like, oh, I've known these people my whole life, so I might as well just keep spending time with them. But if they are making you engage in habits that you no longer want to have, right? There's something that I went through for a long time. For a long time, I found it so difficult to break my habit of blazing up every single day, right? And it wasn't until I consciously stopped spending time with people that were blazing up every single day that I was actually able to do it over the long term. Right now, it's been more than 2 months. I haven't looked back. And at one point, I thought this was the hardest thing that I would ever have to break after pornography, right? So really run an audit of your environment and ask yourself of whether it is supporting you, whether the people around you support you, whether the people around you have the vibration that reflect where you want to be, or are they just on a completely different frequency, and you find yourself engaging in thought patterns and behaviors that do not serve you when you are around them. Okay, really important to ask this question. And this is exactly why community is such a large aspect of the saw a spit fall out over there. Community is such a large aspect of this Monk Mode Challenge, because when we come together and set this intention in the same direction to elevate ourselves is when we begin to align, right? We begin to align, right? The group intention is way stronger than a singular intention, right? I think in the Bible it says as well, whatever, like you come in a group, if you come in a group and ask for my name, it will be granted. Something along those lines, I'm paraphrasing. But it's important to understand that a group dynamic is what allows us to create true transformation, because transformation does not happen in isolation. Okay, so really run an audit of this. This could be the most important factor, which is your environment, which is the people that you spend the time with. I know that you've heard this already. I know that you've read the quotes on Instagram. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But the real question is not whether you know something. The real question is whether you practice it, whether you are living it. Okay, be honest with yourself. Now, the second factor over here is to overcome your body. Okay, very important to understand, because we think that it's just about positive thinking, but positive thinking is not a solution to negative subconscious emotions that we are carrying. Okay, understand that the body is the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind is like a thermostat which dictates what it is that you are worthy of, or what it is that you think you are worthy of, right? You might think that you want to build a great body, but emotionally you have been conditioned to not be worthy of it. Okay, really let this sink in, because subconsciously we have patterns that have been programmed since childhood, since societal programming, from teachers' indoctrination, right? From the schooling, from all of the stuff that we picked up since childhood. And intellectually, we're like, yes, I have this vision to become the strong, capable, grounded man who's on this journey of constant growth and improvement. But emotionally, we are still carrying onto shame, onto guilt, onto apathy, onto fear, onto desire. Right? And the more that we hold on to these emotions, the more that they will continue to hold us back from raising our vibration. Okay? And that is why in another video that I made as well, I said that the key to raising your vibration is to let go of emotions that don't serve you. Okay? Let go of these programs. And the first step is to really understand that it is a program. Understand that your identity, who you think you are, is a program. Okay? Like, you are a human being. You are a human on the level of form, on the level of conditioning, through your experiences, through your environment, through your genetics. But you are also a being on the level of formless timelessness, of pure awareness, of unconditioned joy. And when we can begin to shift our identity from the role that we are playing to the awareness that is having this experience, is when we begin to raise our vibration permanently, because we no longer identify as someone who is this person who has these opinions, who has these prejudices, who has these circumstances. Yes, that's a role. Yes, that's the experience, but you are not the experience. You are the awareness having this experience. And once you begin to take responsibility for your experience, is when you give yourself the power to change it. Okay? And really it comes down to running an audit of the emotions that you experience on a day-to-day basis, right? Because so many times it's like, yes, I want to eat healthy. Yes, I want to read rather than binge videos on YouTube that don't serve me. Yes, I want to do all of these things that are good. But why don't you actually do them? It's because you don't feel like it. Okay, the distinction over here is between emotions and feelings, like I shared in a previous video as well. But I really want to emphasize this again, because feelings accumulated create emotion. So the key over here is to get clear on what emotions you intend to experience, what character traits you intend to experience and embody, and then live into that, right? Rather than how you feel dictating your decisions, you let your vision for the future dictate your decisions. You let who you intend to be dictate your decisions, right? You envision who you can be, and you allow that to dictate your decisions in the moment. Okay, that is the definition of greatness. When we look at Gandhi, when we look at Dr. Martin Luther King, when we look at Nelson Mandela, when we look at Alexander the Great, when we look at history's giants, is when we look at people who did not allow their current identity, they did not allow their current reality, they did not allow their current environment dictate their state of being. When Mahatma Gandhi came out saying he was going to lead a non-violent revolution and drive out the British Empire, that was not something that was reflected in his environment. That was not something that had ever happened before. That was not something that he had proof through his 5 senses about. But because his third eye was open, because he could visualize the possibility of a certain future, he embraced the possibility of a certain future before it actually took place, before he actually had the physical experience of it. And therefore he began to signal his environment rather than him being a product of his environment, right? This leads back to the first point over here. And it really comes down to embracing the possibility of a future, of your most capable self, experiencing those emotions, right? While letting go of the previous ones that don't serve you. therefore becoming the type of person that is worthy, capable, and deserving of that experience, of that end result, of that circumstance, of that success. Okay? Understand that so many of us have good intentions, but our behaviors don't match those intentions because we have been emotionally conditioned to hold on to feelings that don't serve us. Okay? And the more that we make decisions in alignment with our vision rather than how we feel in the moment. I know I've said this a lot of times, but are you truly using the moment to moment basis to take a deep breath in and put yourself in between how you have been conditioned to react, and put yourself in that space? Oh, this person cut me off in traffic. I have this inclination to react based on getting very angry at them. You put yourself in that space, you take a deep breath, and you understand that I can choose my expression. I can choose my response rather than react based on conditioning. Okay? And the more we let go of stuff that doesn't serve us, the more that we reprogram our subconscious mind, the more that we reprogram our body, the more that we become who we know we're capable of being, rather than becoming attached to who we used to be. Okay, very important over here. Now, the third thing we must overcome is that of our illusion of time. Okay, understand that time as we know it, as past, as present, as future, as it's 4:20, oh, it's 11:11. Time is a man-made construct. Okay, Einstein said that time and space are actually part of the same thing, which he called space-time. So it's a 4-dimensional structure, and it's not that we are, it's not that time is going by, right? Oh, time flies, time flies. It's not that time flies. It's that we are flying through time, right? Time just is. The moment is all that you will ever have. Okay, right here, right now is the only thing that's real. Everything else is a figment of your imagination, right? It's a story that you made up. It is an interpretation of what happened, okay? So it's more like, like a CD, or it's more like a film reel, right? The film reel that's going through, like all the film is film, but it's going through frame by frame by frame. And we are the ones that are going through frame by frame by frame, and time just is. So why is this the key to raising your vibration? Because once you let go of your attachment to the past, once you let go of the guilt and the shame and the fear attached to the past, once you let go of your attachment to the future, right? The anxiety and stress that exists when you are attached to a certain expectation of the future, right? Let go of what was, accept what is, and intend for what can be, okay? So it's like the future is within your control, right? Don't get anxious about it. Don't get stressed about it. Choose your behaviors in the present moment that reflect the future you intend to create, and let go of your attachment to the outcome, okay? Have an intention, which is basically desire without an attachment for the outcome. Have an intention for where you want to take your life, but do not get attached to the result, right? Because everything in this world, in this universe, is happening exactly how it's supposed to. It cannot be any other way. And when we resist what is when we resist the whole universe, is when we engage our energy in what is. We engage our energy to resisting what is, and we have less left over for what can be. And if you are disciplined and you value the future over the present, is when you become the conscious creator that has the power to bend the structure of reality. Okay, so it really comes down to these three things, which really encapsulate the big picture on the strongest way to raise your vibration is to overcome your environment. Okay, consciously create an environment that supports your growth. The second thing is to overcome your past emotions of shame, of guilt. Really do that inner work and understand why you don't feel like you're enough. Understand why you sabotage yourself. Let go of these negative programs from the past and create the emotional experience that you want to create based on consciousness rather than compulsiveness and impulsivity and programming. And the third thing is to understand that right here, right now is the only thing that's real. Let go of what was, okay? Intend for what can be, and accept what is right here, right now. Okay, that is the strongest way to raise your vibration. I know that there's a bunch of ideas that I've shared before, but the question is not whether you know them, the question is whether you are living them through practice. Okay, so this is exactly why I've created the Monk Mode Challenge, to help you overcome these three factors, to really give you that daily mission to give you that daily execution plan so that you're not just consuming information, but so that you're actually applying it every single day so that you are receiving that insight for yourself. And the reason I call this a 30-day journey of self-illumination is because I don't have the answers for you. I can only be a guide showing you the direction. And as you walk that path yourself is when you come up with the answers that are deep within your soul anyway. Okay, so if you are serious about creating a true transformation in your life, if you are done with all of this binging on YouTube and consuming information that you never really do anything about, then click the link below so that you can join us in this 30-day challenge and begin making momentum towards the life that you know you're capable of creating. Okay, if you just want to keep watching more videos and keep binging without actually making a change in your life, then this is probably not the right challenge for you. But if you are someone who is finally ready to start taking action every single day, yes, it will require work. Yes, it will require willpower. Yes, it will require change. Yes, it will be uncomfortable. But if you accept these things, because someone can tell you, oh, you can just get the results without doing the work, without doing the hard work, right? That's what a lot of marketers say. Yes, I'm a marketer as well, but I want you to have realistic expectations about change, right? Which requires work, which requires discomfort. Because if you're comfortable, you won't change, right? You will just stay where you are. And really, you're not staying where you are, you're going backwards. Okay, so if you are someone who is committed to leveling up in their development, click the link below, join the Monk Mode Challenge, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside. Okay, so with that being said, I will leave you in the peace and power of the one infinite creator, and I will see you in the next video.